Hello and welcome back to another Belmont Bruins Close-Up. I'm Katie Green. Today we're featuring Taylor Mills, a redshirt sophomore guard out of Corryton, Tennessee. Mills admits that growing up in Tennessee Lady Vol country was quite the tall order.
I would say that it was tough in a sense that there's a lot of expectations for, girls basketball growing up, going to Lady Vols games. And like my AAU team, we went and watched several of their practices and got to know them, which was a cool experience, but at the same time, it's like you kind of had some pressure on you. It's like you're under a little microscope.
Mills believes that despite those expectations, Tennessee athletics helped to give her an appreciation for sports.
I grew up, going to those games, and so, I'm saying that, it helped shape me, just into a sports fan and basketball player.
In addition to playing for Gibbs High School, Mills played for the Tennessee Flight and played against some current Belmont Bruins along the way.
Tennessee Flight, there's a couple different teams out of that organization. I played for the one my last year that was located in Knoxville, so that was the Flight Select. The Inzuls have the flight teams that are located out, Murfreesboro. I played with them a couple times at some tournaments, which, gets you huge exposure because they have some of the best players in the country, so that's fun.
Mills would face these girls again in a different light as teammates after she decided to transfer from Kennesaw State to Belmont.
There are a couple girls I got to play against. I knew Tori Vaught. I played against Katie Carroll for years and years through her Georgia team. And then I knew Madison Blevins from the Flight organization.
Her decision to call Belmont was spur of the moment, but with the support of her father and love of Nashville and the culture of Belmont, the move back to Tennessee was made much easier.
It was tough. I was nervous coming in, especially playing, at Kennesaw State and then playing against them here. It's kind of stressful for me, but at the same time, getting to play against them all those years allowed me to know kind of who they are and what kind of people they are, which is something that, attracted me to here. When I decided I did not want to play at Kennesaw anymore, I actually thought I was just going to be done. It's been a long 3 years. I was just kind of ready to move on, but then I'm telling you, it was like God speaking to me just out of nowhere, said, look into Belmont. And I sent an email in an anatomy lab at like 8 o'clock one night, out of nowhere. I texted my dad and was like, what do you think about Belmont? He's like, I love Belmont. And I was like, well, looked at their roster and noticed they didn't have a full roster. So I sent her an email and she was like, well, let's get you up on a visit. Belmont basketball, we have a type of kid, and I think it's really important that we keep finding people who fit that, culture, because it works. And this summer, 7 of us went to the beach together. We really like each other. I told someone I could live with anybody on the team and be fine.
When she's not playing basketball, Mills is hard at work pursuing a degree in biochemistry.
It's tough. It takes a lot of time management and a lot of long nights studying on the road, stuff like that. But it's going to pay off. I'm pre-med right now, but I'm looking into optometry school. So eye doctor, maybe med school. I'm still just trying to figure it out.
As a girl who isn't afraid to admit that she bleeds orange, Mills hopes to return to the Knoxville area for postgraduate study.
If I went to medical school or whatever kind of secondary, post-grad, whatever I want to do, I would love to say that I had some type of degree from Tennessee.
Taylor's passion for optometry was strengthened after going on a college mission trip with her home church in Corryton.
We went to Belmopan, which is the capital, not the Belize that you see if you Google Belize and you look at the beaches. We're, very inland, not too far from Guatemala. We actually went and got to see the Mayan ruins, though, over at the border of Guatemala and Belize, which was just incredible. We put on a sports camp out there, though. We stayed at it's like a high school, college kind of area, and then we had kids come in during the day, and we played all different sports, mostly soccer, which they love, was football. And then in the afternoons, we would go to the villages and give out our beans and rice and, pray with the families. That's part of why I guess I like optometry so much. I shadowed a couple optometrists, and I really like the clinical setting, but at the same time, there's a big, need for kids with glasses, or, there's just so many people that have eye problems or, throughout their life develop eye issues, and there's just such a need for it that it definitely would be some opportunities.
And with that, we wrap up this Belmont Bruins close-up on Taylor Mills. I'm Katie Green.